Next, I will turn the meeting over to Dr. Hefner for the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. I would say that I just would add to the information that I gave you last time. We're talking about that the class of 2015 had done extremely well. We talked about the fact that all of our schools were above, and as a district, and all of our each individual school was above the national average for both SAT and ACT. And we talked about the fact that our dropout rate and graduation rates all moved in the right direction as a district, and we're very thankful for that. Since that time, we've gotten our work key scores, which, as you know, that's brand new this year. I think it becomes mandatory next year for all graduates to take the work keys, but this year we also have test results that are parallel to the other test results we talked about. Again, we had, among the districts here in the Midlands, we had the highest percentage of students taking the test, and overall we had the best performance in terms of having students who were scoring at the highest levels on that particular test. So kudos to all of our schools and to our students, and we can continue to express our appreciation to all the folks who've worked hard to make that happen. And at this time, we will go to our Office of Finance and Operations for our monthly financial reports. Mr. Richardson.
Thank you, Dr. Hefner. Madam Chair, members of the board, I have the monthly revenue and expenditure report in a groovy new format for you tonight. And I could have made it a little smaller, I almost can see it. I just want to let you know that this format will probably change. It's sort of a work in progress right now, but this is our first report out of the new system. Instead of doing two separate ones for July and August, I've included July and August. So this is the monthly financial report for the month of July and August 2015. The first page of the report are the revenues, and unfortunately, I want to point out an error on our part, which was a result of us posting a revenue item in the wrong fiscal year, but we have corrected it in the September report when you'll see that at next month. But the about 3/4 of the page down for property tax relief tier 3, there's a $5.8 million item there, which is incorrect. That should have been posted in the last fiscal year.
Yeah, no, Mr. Richardson, I'm sorry, we've got a fan right here, and so can you speak up or pull the microphone a little bit closer because we're not able to hear you.
Okay, is that a little bit better?
That's better, thank you.
You're going to make me repeat I have an error on our revenue report.
Well, yeah, please go right ahead and repeat that.
I've got an error on my very first revenue report here. $5.8 million, about 3/4 of the way page down for property tax relief tier 3. That $5.8 million should have been posted in the last fiscal year. We were working in two systems. We posted in the current fiscal year. We have corrected that in the month of September. However, you won't see that until I give you the next monthly report. So the bottom line is we had receipts rather than $15.4 million. We had receipts of $9,570,000 for July and August, which leaves us a balance of $141,988,446 out of a $151.5 million budget.
Can you repeat that last line? You're talking about the receipts.
The receipts, rather than being $15.4 million, were $9,570,431. Okay. Taking into account that error. Like I said, that's corrected in the month of September. You'll see that next month. On the next few pages are our expenditures. This is a little bit different format than you're used to seeing, so I'll kind of explain what you're seeing here. First column is our budget amount, and the expenditures, what it says range to date, that's our expenditures for the 2 months, and then of course year to date, since it's only 2 months into the year, is the same number. And then you have a balance, and then you have also in the next column encumbrances. So you understand what you're looking at. The encumbrances include our payroll information for what we currently have in our system. So the remaining balance obviously will not be that great because we've encumbered all of the payroll. If you look through here, you can see that we still have a little bit of work to do on our budget to get it aligned like it needs to be, because you'll see some fairly big budget balances on some payroll lines, and you'll see some negatives. So we've still got people, we're still fluid right now, we're still moving people into the correct classifications. On the very last page of the report, gives us our totals. We've spent $11,079,802 to date. We have a remaining balance with all the encumbrances of $21,121,816. Without the encumbrances, we have a remaining balance of $155,261,261. Did I totally confuse everybody? Can I answer any questions?
Are there any questions? Ms. Hammond?
Beth, can you, I was just going to ask, when you were talking about the format, this is, like you're doing this date is like 7/1 to 8/31. Do you do it, is this going to be like a monthly thing?
Yeah,
this is a little different than I remembered it, but
well, it's a lot different than the way we used to show it.
Right.
And that's why I was trying to explain what you're seeing here. But from now on, you'll get it on a monthly basis. It won't be 2 months like this. We didn't do one for the month of July.
I was just wondering the process, how we get it, whether it be a monthly thing or.
It'll be a monthly thing, and hopefully, and I'll work on the format and maybe make it a little bit easier to see next time so it doesn't require a magnifying glass.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Mr. Richardson, perhaps you mentioned this, and I didn't hear it right at the beginning. With our budget balance, which includes the encumbrances, we're at, I guess, what's that, 21 million? And so we anticipate our revenue to come in, is it November, December, the taxes?
That's just the expenditure side.
Okay.
That you're seeing here, the $21 million, and that's just with encumbrances to date, obviously.
Okay.
But as far as what, on the first page, what I showed you where that error was, that we won't get any of that money until December.
Say that again.
The error I showed you previously on the revenue page, we will get that revenue for the current year in December, or get 90% of it.
Okay. Are there any other questions? And I'm sure, oh, yes, Mr. Gant.
I just had one, and you may have said this, Mr. Richardson, but we are having a little bit of trouble hearing up here. I assume that this new format and the 2 months has to do with the new system did you generate this from the new system we're trying to implement?
Yes,
So
sir.
that's probably, you're going to have to iron a few little bugs with that, I assume. But
I'm going to work on the format a little bit, but it will not look like what you're used to seeing.
right. And I do remember the many benefits of that system, and one of those is going to be next year at our budget time. We'll have a whole lot more precise data tagged to exactly where it should be, which I think that was one of the things that you look forward to being able to help us with, because I know you get a lot of very detailed questions at times. But
I certainly hope so. And by looking at the expenditures, like you mentioned, because we encumber the payroll, you can see where we already are out of line with our budget. So we got a little bit of work to do before we get to that budget process.
Right. Well, thank you. And I think we all recognize any new system has some bugs to iron out. I'm looking forward to the things that you all are going to streamline with the system, including all the financial pieces of it.
I'm looking forward to that as well.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Richardson. And we will now go to our Office of Design and Construction. for our monthly update. Mr. McAllister,
I think we sent him
we sent him out to
To-
try to,
turn off the fan.
and do they want us to come out there? And, we'd like, yeah, to move out on this side. We were unable to get all the information on the